Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another episode of Healthzone with Gilbert Cheah. I'm Gilbert Cheah. I'm the editor of Healthzone Singapore, a Facebook page that's dedicated to covering health and wellness, specifically from a Singapore and regional perspective. So today we're going to be talking about a subject that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is about having good skin, great skin at any age. I've been a skincare junkie ever since I was 16 years old when I stole my mom's night cream to use at night. Of course, I didn't need that at 16, but I was already interested in having good skin back then. So I'm going to share with you all the things that you need to know so that whatever your age or gender, you can have great skin. And this is something that we all want to look our best. And some of us are lucky enough to have great skin while others struggle with skin problems throughout our lives. So why do some people have beautiful skin and why don't others? After all, we are all born with beautiful skin as babies and have beautiful skin as children. So what happens to cause skin problems as we grow? Acne, pigmentation, open pores, sagging skin, wrinkles, and so on are all taking a toll on our skin and our looks as we get older. And just as there are many different types of skin problems, there are also many different causes and reasons for these conditions. So there's no one single thing that we can pinpoint or do to prevent or solve skin issues, but there are some major culprits that can damage skin and make you look older than you are. So in this episode, I want to share with you all the important information and tips that you need to know to have the best looking skin for as long as possible. An average size human adult has between 1.5 to 2 square meters of skin. That's about 16 to 22 square feet of skin. That's a lot of skin to look after. But thankfully, aside from the face, the rest of the skin on the body doesn't really need much attention, as long as we keep it clean and don't get any infections. Facial skin, despite being such a small part of our overall body, is the one that gives us the most problems and which we spend the most time, attention, and money on. And the main reason why facial skin is the most problematic is because it has the highest concentration of oil glands, and also because it's exposed the most to the elements, specifically sunlight. And there is a term in dermatology called photoaging, which refers to premature aging of the skin that is caused by repeated exposure to ultraviolet radiation or UV light. And this is something that we all need to avoid as much as possible. So that leads us to tip number 1 for having the best possible skin for as long as possible. And that is wear sunscreen every day, even if you are indoors most of the time. Why? For one thing, sunlight that's coming in from windows and reflected off the furniture and walls can have the same effect of photoaging your skin as if you were outdoors. And worse, this exposure indoors is both over long hours and long term. Secondly, if you are walking outdoors even for short periods, for example, out to get lunch or walking to and from the MRT, your face is getting exposed to UV rays and the damage builds up over time. Even if you're driving, for example, the UV rays entering through the car windows will also lead to premature aging of your skin. If you're not convinced, take a look at these photos of a truck driver whose face was exposed to the sun daily as he drove around, but only on one side of the face. As you can see clearly over the years, this side of his face has aged a lot more than the other side. Now, the difference is even more dramatic if we show the undamaged sides together and the damaged sides together. So that really shows how much damage the sun can do to your skin, even when you're driving in a car. Now, although most of us will hopefully never get this level of sun damage, we all already have many signs of photoaging, even if they are not visible, and this will only get worse as we get older. UV light doesn't just cause uneven brown spots and patches, it also weakens the underlying collagen under our skin, and this causes it to break down at a faster rate than normal. Continued exposure only speeds up the process, leading to further wrinkling and sagging. Now, aside from UV radiation from the sun, most people are unaware that we are also exposed to UV radiation from indoor lights. This may surprise many people as we don't often think of indoor lights giving out ultraviolet radiation, but many types of indoor lights, especially fluorescent lights such as those used in older buildings, emit unexpectedly high amounts of UV light as measured by a special radiometer. And because we are exposed to so much indoor lighting, experts caution that such cumulative chronic doses of indoor lights can play a big role in skin damage as the years go by. With all these possible threats from UV lights all around, the bottom line is clear. Wear sunscreen every day. There are now so many types available, so there's no excuse for not wearing them. I would recommend getting a lightweight facial moisturizer that comes with sunscreen, so you only need to wear one product and you'll be less likely to forget or skip a step. And that takes us to tip number 2. Skincare matters. Many people think, for example, that because we live in a humid climate and that they may have oily skin, that they don't need a moisturizer. This is a mistake that will cause you to look older than you are. You may be fine without a moisturizer as a teenager, but as we get older, skin becomes more dehydrated and less elastic, and we must protect and supplement it with a lightweight moisturizer around the clock. I would also strongly recommend using a skincare serum at night too, and to choose one that contains vitamin C, as this helps the skin in multiple ways. Now, vitamin C promotes collagen production, which can help firm up your skin and lessen the look of fine lines and wrinkles. It's also an antioxidant, so it protects skin cells from damaging free radicals that are caused by UV light. And it inhibits melanin production in the skin, so this helps to lighten hyperpigmentation and brown spots and even out skin tone. And if all that wasn't enough, it can even help repair damage from sun exposure and collagen loss because it promotes healthy cell turnover and regeneration. Now, there are hundreds of products containing vitamin C, but you really do not need to bother with vitamin C cleansers and toners, for example. Just focus on getting a good vitamin C serum for night use. These are available in a wide range of prices, and you don't need to spend a lot to get an effective good one. You can get very expensive and good ones from brands such as SkinCeuticals, Obagi, and Nicholas Perricone that will cost over $100. But you can also find very good and budget-priced ones from brands like L'Oreal, Neutrogena, and Clinique for under $50. Apply the vitamin C serum after you clean your face and before moisturizer and sunscreen. It should go directly on your bare skin. And make sure to keep these products in a cool, dark place and to always close the cap tightly because vitamin C is very unstable when it's exposed to air and light, and it will oxidize and lose its potency. Be sure to check the expiration dates on your product, and if you notice a sour smell or discoloration, for example if it's turned dark brown, it's most likely breaking down. One good way to keep the product fresh for longer is to store it in a fridge. The cool temperature and darkness will help preserve it, and it will also feel very refreshing when you apply it in our hot weather. On to tip number 3. What you eat shows up on your face. You cannot have great skin if you have a bad diet. We are what we eat. The foods we eat will have a greater effect on our skin and our overall well-being than any skincare product we can use. Our skin cells are constantly shedding and they're being replaced by fresh new ones, and we need to have an ongoing supply of key nutrients to support this constant growth. So if you have a well-balanced, diverse diet that is high in nutrition and low in sugar and fat, you will not only feel great, it will also help you look your best, and that includes your skin condition. Conversely, people with bad diets will almost always have skin that is unhealthy and looking less than ideal. So we know that a balanced diet is key, and that means one that is not too heavy in fat, carbohydrates, and which also should include a lot of lean protein, vegetables, and fruit. When talking about what we eat, one of the worst things we can eat for our skin and health is sugar. Keep in mind that we're not just talking about plain white table sugar here, but also starchy white carbohydrates such as rice, noodles, bread, cakes, etc., which will have the same effect on the body as pure sugar. These are all foods with a high glycemic index, which means they are very quickly digested and processed by the body and turned into glucose and flooded into the bloodstream. And all of this glucose going to the bloodstream will cause your body to shoot out insulin to counter the glucose. And this process can lead to inflammation in the body, and this has many detrimental effects, including the skin. So for one thing, excess sugar in the body leads to a breakdown of collagen and elastin. And these are two vital proteins that keep our skin firm. And this process is called glycation, when your collagen and elastin break down. The skin becomes drier and less elastic, and this results in wrinkles, sagging, and hollowness in the face. The more glycation occurs in our body, the quicker our skin ages. This is one reason why people with diabetes who have difficulty controlling their blood sugar levels tend to age faster than those without high blood sugar, not just internally but also in the appearance. In addition, excess sugar can aggravate skin conditions such as acne and eczema. So the evidence is clear. Reduce your intake of sugary foods and starchy white carbs, and you'll feel better and look better, and you'll be doing your body and skin a big favor. And of course, when we talk about what we eat, that also includes what we drink. And that leads us to the point about alcohol. Excessive alcohol will do a lot of damage to your skin. You only need to look at the face of someone who drinks a lot to see the effect that alcohol has on the skin. More likely than not, even if they're not drunk, they will look puffy under the eyes, have redness on the cheeks and nose, and have broken capillaries around the face. Now, it's important to know that alcohol is a toxin and it can damage the body in many ways. It's been proven that it weakens liver function, reduces your immunity, disrupts hormones, and even damages your cells. And while we should reduce the amount of alcohol we consume, we should similarly be increasing the amount of water we drink. Drinking water helps the body flush out toxins from the system, and water also increases blood flow to the skin, which gives it more nourishment. So make sure you drink plenty of water throughout the day. Tip number 4, sleep on it. Now, sleep is one of the most important requirements for good health, and it has been shown to affect our bodies in ways both big and small. A lack of sleep or getting poor quality sleep increases the risk of many disorders, including high blood pressure, obesity, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, depression, dementia, and even cancer. And aside from these very serious conditions, inadequate sleep also results in poor skin conditions and faster aging. A very interesting study in the Journal of Clinical and Experimental Dermatology found that people who slept 7 to 9 hours a night had skin that was more naturally moisturized and had a better ability to protect and heal itself even after being exposed to ultraviolet light compared to those people who slept 5 hours or less. And one reason for this is that our skin, like the rest of our body, undergoes restoration and repair when we sleep. So if you reduce the amount of sleep, you're also reducing the amount of time that the skin has to repair itself, and this will affect its health and the way that it looks. Your body cannot be fooled, and the lack of good sleep will show up on your skin, in your eyes, and all over. And tip number 5, rise of the machines. Finally, I want to talk about something that makes a very dramatic difference in how our skin looks, and this is not something that many people know about. There has been a technological revolution in the past 20 years or so, with the invention of high-tech machines coming into the scene that can make a dramatic improvement in our skin condition and the way that we look. Now, these machines use radio frequency waves, ultrasound, and lasers to penetrate the skin's layers non-invasively and painlessly to give a wide variety of benefits. These lasers, radio frequency waves, and ultrasound actually cause the body to build up more collagen and elastin under the skin. It helps tighten the skin, fade signs of sun damage, and much more. And in many ways, they have made surgical facelifts unnecessary, or at the very least, postponed the need for surgery. These treatments are popularly known by their brand names, such as Thermage, which uses radio frequency waves, Alpha Therapy, and HIFU, which uses high-intensity focused ultrasound waves. Now, because these machines are also very powerful, they need to be wielded by medical professionals and are usually available only at medical clinics that specialize in aesthetic treatments. If you wish to explore these high-tech therapies, and if you can afford it, I highly recommend them. It's very important that you only go to registered and licensed doctors and not to beauty salons or establishments run by non-medical professionals. Generally, the results from these treatments will last 1 or 2 years, depending on how well you look after your skin and how healthy your lifestyle is. So there you have it. Those are my 5 big tips for having the best possible skin for as long as you can. Do read through the tips again. I'll be posting this on the Health Zone page on Facebook. And do share this with your friends. And look forward to having the best possible skin and looking much younger than you actually are for as long as possible. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Health Zone with Gilbert Cheah. And we'll see you again on another upcoming episode.